Hi, this is Ms. Ellison, and this is this week's Book Talks. I've got several of them for you, about six different books. I've been reading a lot lately. This one's really good. It's a great Southern realistic fiction book. It has three main characters. The main character is a boy named Dill. He is the son of a preacher in a Holy Roller church who likes to handle snakes and drink poison as a way to show your faith. That preacher has been arrested and has been put into jail. Dill's dealing with the fact that his notoriety has made it very hard for him to live in his very small town. He has two very good friends, both of which are kind of helpful. But what you discover pretty early on is that Dill doesn't feel like he has a lot of chances and opportunities. He's pretty sure he's not going to go to college, and he's the kind of guy who should go to college and should get out of his small town. You will like this book. This one's short and poetic. It's called This is the Story of You. Imagine that you live on a very small island off the coast of New Jersey. It's only 6 miles long and a half mile wide. Imagine that when you are getting ready for a storm to come, there are a lot of things that you might have to do. What if you're not aware that the storm is going to be really seriously damaging, and you are left alone on your island by yourself with nobody to help you? This is the story of you, how our girl manages to get through it, and what the aftermath looks like. This is a funny and romantic one. It's called Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. Amy is grieving. She lost her father in a way that was very upsetting, and her mother has decided to move the family from San Francisco to the East Coast. And for some reason, she's decided that Amy needs to drive across country to bring the car from one side of the coast to the other. Amy is no longer driving, so she has to rely on the fact that her mom has signed up this college student named Roger to do all the driving for her. They get in the car and they immediately decide they are not going to take the 4 day long trip across country that mom had planned for them. They're going to take some pretty epic detours, including Yosemite and a lot of other things along the way. Interesting things happen in the relationship. This was fun and funny. I've got two books, both deal with magic. In one, magic is a good thing. We have a fantasy world that takes place around the time of the in the 1800s, and our boy lives on an island where if you are somebody who doesn't have magic, or if you're somebody who cannot be affected by magic, you are considered extremely dangerous. You would want to hide the fact that you actually can't be harmed by magic in any way because people will try to kill you. And that's the story of our guy. He is somebody who is considered not magical in any ways, and since magic can affect him, he can actually do a lot of things to harm other people. He has been outed by his very best friend, who happens to be a witch on this island. She told everybody else that he can't be affected by magic, and now he has had to run from his home. And he has decided to return, and he is going to take revenge upon her. He's going to take her magic away because he has access to a knife that can cut people and can remove their magic. Will he actually enact his revenge is the big question that we have in this story. It's called Drift and Dagger. And in this world, the young elite world, magic is a bad thing. You don't want to be magical. So in the young elite world, which will feel magical and also Italian in the same way, we have a group of kids who, when they were younger, went through a very damaging blood fever. The people who recovered from it are scarred in some way, but they also have magical powers. There is an inquisition that's going on, and the government is trying to remove and kill any of these kids who actually have these magical powers because they are actually quite dangerous. Our girl is somebody who has to be rescued on the day when she is due to be hanged because she has a magical power that nobody can control. Somebody rescues her and she becomes one of the young elites. And that's when the story really starts to take off. Finally, we have a fast read here. It's going to be one that's great for people who really like war stories. It's called Private Peaceful. It's a World War One story by Michael Morpurgo, who also wrote Warhorse. And in this one, we know that our main character, a private, is in the trenches, and he is doing guard duty throughout the night. Every chapter is a different hour, getting closer to the morning. As you are noticing the chapters counting down, you start to wonder, what are we counting down to? You can make some. You can have lots of suspicions about this one. While he's there in the trenches, he's actually reminiscing and thinking about his whole childhood, and you're kind of going through all the different parts of his life that lead up to this point where he is waiting for morning to come because something is going to happen. People who really like war stories will definitely like this one. It's a little bit edgier. It's also very, very quick. Anyway, those are my choices for this week. Thanks for listening. Back to you. Hard to turn it off. Super hard.